Good morning, students. As we have already studied about the Guru Nanak and we have studied his case study, that what he have done into his life and what was the message which he had spreaded between the public. The message is that Guru Nanak always used to say that all the Hindus and all the Muslims are the devotees of this one God. Okay, there is only one God. One God, according to him, there is only one God, and we have to pray to him only. Okay, he had said Ik Omkar. He had given a message of Ik Omkar. It means that there is only a Omkar and no any another God to the people. Next, he had propounded three things, that is Naam Japna, Krit Karna and Vand Chakna. As I have already told you into the previous classes that Naam Japna, Krit Karna and Vand Chakna, these are the three topics which was given by the Guru Nanak. Think about God listening to the same gives truth, holy wisdom, contentment by listening to the name, sorrow and sin are destroyed. According to him, Naam Japna means to revise the name of the God and to reduce the sorrow and the sins which is into our mind. When we get so much sorrowful, then we always used to say that Hey Bhagwan, how could we handle that? How could we do it? And we start to do the worship of God, that all the things becomes correct. So the thing is that we have to worship, we have to take his name into each and every situation, not only in sorrow or sins, but also into the happiness. Next one is that is Krit Karna. Into the Krit Karna, Guru Nanak has said that you have to do the work, good works, good deeds, and with very honestly way, into the very honestly way, you have to do the good deeds, and hard work is necessary for taking any type of success, for doing any type of thing. You have to need to do the hard work related to that. Next one is Vand Chakna. According to him, Vand Chakna means share with the needy whatever you can spare. Whatever you have to share with the needy. Who is needed, that thing is needed by that person, you have to share with it. Just as treat all the men and women at equal regardings and nationality, religious and creed. Means all the things, all the peoples will be treated equally according to him. Next, we are going to study about the saints. That what were the saints at that time and what was the message given by them to all the people at that time. There were other saints who also popularized the movement in other part of the India. So the major contribution of this movement in other part of the country were Mirabai, Namdev, Surdas, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. These are the saints which have given so many messages according to their bhakti movement, given by their bhakti movement. And aside, but into the North India they are used to popularize. But what about the South India? Into the South India, there are new kinds of bhakti movement was started, that is of Nayanars and the Alvars. Two types of bhakti movement was started by the Nayanars and the Alvars. Nayanars were the devotee of Shiva. They used to do the worship of Shiva, and Alvars were the devotees of Vishnu. They used to worship of the god Vishnu. Okay? Nayanars were the devotees of the Shivas and Alvars were the devotees of Vishnu. They both are found into the South India. They both are found into the southern India. So They drew upon the ideal of love from the Sangam literature and blended it with the ideas of bhakti. They have taken the lines, they have taken the points from the Sangam literature and given it into the sung it into the bhakti, devoted to the God. And in their community, both Nayanas and Alvars, all the castes are included into that. Means all the peoples. That must be of Brahmins, that must be of Kshatriya, that must be of must be of untouchables. These all the peoples are included into their group. So they used to worship Shiva and Vishnu. Next, the composed poems is praise of God, in praise of God, and moved from place to place by singing them. They compose the poem in the praise of God. That just like there are so many bhaktis, there are so many bhajans which we used to sing at the worship of the God, in the worship of the God. They used to do like that, and there were 63 Nayanas from many castes and backgrounds, like peasants, potters, as I have already told, that soldiers, hunters, etc. all are included into their particular group, both in Nayanas and Alvars, that are included into the southern area. So their poems have been compiled into two books, that is Tevaram and Tiruvakkam. Nayana's poems, Nayana's bhajans, Nayana's bhaktis are all are compiled into the two books, that is Tevaram and Tiruvakkam. Two books, that is Tevaram and Tiruvakkam. These were the two books which was compiled, which was given by the Nayanas. All the poems, all the bhajans, all the things are included into that. Next thing, we are going on the saint. We are coming on the saints. First one is about Mirabai. Mirabai is a very famous saint related. She used to do the bhajans of Lord Krishna. She is the devotee of Lord Krishna, and she belongs to the royal family of the Rajasthan. She belongs to the royal family of Rajasthan, but she spent most of her life into singing the hymns of the God. Into the singing of the hymns of the God, she had spent so much of her life. Next, she became the disciple of Ravi Das. She became the disciple of Ravi Das, sent from a caste which was considered as untouchable. Ravi Das was sent from that caste which is considered as the untouchable, and she became the disciple of that person. Next, Mirabai Bhajans was Lord Krishna. The theme of Mirabai Bhajans was Lord Krishna. She always used to do the worship of Lord Krishna. Therefore, all the bhajans which she used to sing was related to the Lord Krishna. Next, her songs are famous for their devotees to Krishna. In her song, she openly challenged the norms of the upper caste, that she has what they are used to doing into that time. She has openly challenged that at that time women education was not over there. Second thing is that untouchables, these type of things was done by the upper castes. So she has openly challenged them by her bhajans. Her bhajans are even sung in today's world also. Her bhajans which she used to sing at that time is nowadays it is also being sung by her. Next one is Namadeo. He belongs to Maharashtra. He tried to bring harmony between both Hinduism and Islam. He tries to bring the equality between the both Hindus and Islams, and he composed poetry both in Hindi and Marathi, and preached and professed unity of God. Okay, he used to give his point in both Hindi and Marathi, and all the things he used to process in the unity of God. He was against idol worship and ritualism. The ritualism which they used to perform, which people used to perform at that time, that was so much expensive according to the common people. So he used to oppose to that there is no any requirement of the ritualism. If you are doing the bhakti of Bhagwan, if you are doing the bhakti of God, then you have to do the good deeds. You have to give the concentrate to the God by your own mind. Okay, no need to perform the expensive rituals by which Bhagwan get so much happy and give everything to you. No need of that. Next, he was of the firm belief that salvation could be achieved through the devotion to God. Salvation means, into the Hindi language, salvation means mukti. Mukti is by doing the devotion to the God. According to him, you have to get devoted to the God by which you could be able to get the salvation. He, by virtue of his location, was the essential link between the growth of the movement from the south to the north. From south to the north, he was the main leader to lead the Bhakti movement and spread it into the all over India. Next one is Tukaram. We are going to study about Tukaram. Saint Tukaram was a famous saint of early 17th century. He also belongs from the Maharashtra region, and he was famous in his belief that God is omnipresent. Means he is present in each and every thing. He is present. We can't say that this thing is impure or that thing is impure. No, we can't say that. According to him, he had said that all the things are made by the God, and God is present in all the things which is made by him. Just like we have given the example of ice and cloth. As we have said, ice is totally made up of water, and he had compared the God with the water. Second thing, cloth. Cloth is made up of yarn, is made up of thread, and he had compared God with the yarn, with the thread. So he had said that all the things into this world, into this universe is made by the God. So we can't say that this is impure or that thing is impure. Next, Surdas. Now we are going to study about the Surdas. What was his teaching and what he used to do. He was blind from the childhood. He was blind. And there is information available about the early life of Surdas. He was known as the blind from the birth. From the birth, he was blind. He was the ardent devotee of Lord Krishna. Means he was also, just like Mirabai, he is also the devotee of Lord Krishna. Next, in his view, preaching and salvation could be attained by the devotion and to the Lord Krishna. By the devotion to the Lord Krishna, Surdas has said that we can attain salvation, we can get mukti from the life cycle. Next, the significant poetic work of Surdas is compiled in the work like Sur Sagar, Surasvali and Sahitya Lahari. Sur Sagar, Surasvali and Sahitya Lahari, these are the three books which is compiled by the Surdas, and all the poems and all the works are included into that. Next one is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The song which we used to, the bhajan which we used to worship related to the God, that is Hare Rama and Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna is a word which is combined, which is composed by this person, that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this saint Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Bhakti movement in Bengal has been started by this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In Bengal, the Bhakti movement was started by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he is the person who has given the word Hare Krishna. Next one. His favorite form of worship was Kirtan, in which group of people sing and dance and chant the word Hare Krishna. His favorite form of worship was doing the bhajan, was doing the kirtan. Okay, then all the group of the people used to gather over there and sing the song that is related to the Hare Rama and Hare Krishna. Next is, according to him, the chanting of the Lord Krishna was itself a way to salvation. According to him also, the chanting of Lord Krishna means used to do the worship of Lord Krishna, used to do the name, repeating the name of Lord Krishna, you can get the salvation, you can get the mukti from the life cycle. Next, Madhavacharya. We are going to study about Madhavacharya. Another famous saint of medieval time, born in Karnataka and highly influenced in southern India, was Mahadevacharya. Into the Karnataka, the people was highly influenced by the Mahadevacharya. He was the third of a trio of philosophers who influenced Indian thoughts in the 13th century. He came after Sri Shankaracharya. After Sri Shankaracharya, he used to come into that group, and Sri Ramanujacharya. He propounded a philosophy which was different from those prevalent in that period. He had propounded the philosophy according to him, which things were so much different. He had said, Sri Mahadevacharya teachings include the importance of the prayer and meditation. Prayer and meditation both are included according to his teaching. He believed that to meditate effectively, one needs to clear his mind and attain detachment from the world life by studying the sacred text, which could be done with the assistance of gurus. According to him, with the assistance of gurus, the people could get the knowledge related to the religion by reading the book and in the presence of his gurus. Next, Sufism. What is Sufism? This thing we are going to study into the next video. As we have already studied up to Mahadevacharya, you have to read it properly and you have to learn what are the main topics related to these type of sentences. What are the main message which is given by these sects. Thank you so much. Okay, goodbye.